Welcome to another episode on the HighLevel Experience Podcast. Our guest today is a visionary in the realm of artificial intelligence, a seasoned leader with over 2 decades of experience in technology and product management, and a passionate advocate for ethical AI innovation. As the CEO of Thinker AI, he is at the forefront of transforming how businesses engage with AI to enhance customer experiences and operational efficiency. His work with global giants like Starbucks, BMW, and CIBC has not only showcased his expertise, but also his commitment to using AI to foster meaningful business transformations. So please welcome to the show, Mohan Gulati from Thinker AI.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Great to have you, Mohan. Great to have you, mate. So to kick things off, could you share with us a pivotal moment in your career that steered you towards AI and ultimately led to the founding of Thinker AI?
Absolutely. So I've been, in the world of AI before ChatGPT became a thing, when everybody kind of started to look at what AI was and generative AI. I've, being in the consulting world, was working with many clients, definitely into the machine learning aspect of it, well before anybody knew what that was, and was consulting with a lot of clients and realizing that they just didn't know where to get started, especially once ChatGPT did come on the scene. It was like, what do we do with this technology? We know we should use it. And especially because I worked for a media giant, and we were talking to a lot of advertising, marketing agencies as well. And they're like, where do we get started? And part of what I've realized is that most companies didn't know how to do that. And I had this moment, this is going to be sounding really funny, but I had this moment where I was having to fix our carburetor. Do you have a carburetor down there?
What's that?
A carburetor. So you put this device underneath your sink and you put, little food gucky stuff that when you wash dishes and all that, and the carburetor chews down.
Yeah. They call it something different here in Australia, but yeah, I know what you mean.
All right. So the carburetor stopped working, and this was clogging our water, entire sink with water. And I was like, I'm not a handyman, but my wife instructed me, go and fix this thing. So I took my, handy dandy phone, my YouTube, and started looking at it and started to try to figure out how to use this. And what did I do? I started daydreaming. Wouldn't it be cool if I had like pair of glasses right now that could show me a YouTube video, could see what I'm watching, and then look at what's coming in front of me, and then instruct me through voice AI how to do that. And then you know what? It would say, based on your skill sets, Mohan, this is above what you should do.
Just call a plumber.
And you should go and, find somebody. And would you like me to go and do that search? Absolutely. I would love to do the search. Well, there's 5 people who are available within the next 2 days that could come over. Amazing. So anybody who could come over in the next 2 hours, there's 2 people that could come over in the next hour. Great. Could you tell me who they are and what their names are? This guy named George can be here in a couple hours, and he will charge you $200 an hour, plus an additional some emergency cost to be there, whatever, I started thinking, okay, that's cool. And then, you know what? I like George. I want somebody over because this is like mission critical. We can't use the kitchen. Let's go ahead and confirm that. All done through my voice. And then it says, are you good to pre-authorize payment? I'm absolutely cool to do that. That then became my vision. So instead of actually fixing the carburetor, I got excited. I called up my friend and started talking to him about this idea, how cool this would be to do. And then that led to one thing, which led to the next. And that became like the story of how Thinker got founded. Yeah.
So one out of a random idea popped in your head, and there you go.
I think that speaks to like the entrepreneurial spirit, right? You're fixing real problems. You have it yourself, and then you go about trying to figure out, is this a problem that others are experiencing? Is this something? And the fact that now I knew about AI and I knew that this was something that was on the horizon in terms of being something that can be manifested in a way that's seamless and human-like. And I started thinking, what are the technical solutions? I've got a technical background, right? So all of these things started like to pop into my head. And before I knew it, I was like, okay, let's go out and build a POC. Let's go figure out how to get this started. So I built a POC in under 2 weeks using what was existing out there right there. Did a bunch of research.
You mean like an MVP? It's the same thing? POC?
Well, yeah, proof of concept before you get to the MVP. The MVP is kind of like this minimal viable product that you're going to bring to market. But this was even before that. It was just like, is the technology even capable of doing half of what I said or a fraction of what I do? What are the limitations? Think of it like a research or a kind of like a discovery type of approach, right? Where you build something to prove to yourself whether it's even feasible or doable, right?
Yeah.
That's even before you understand. Because like an MVP for me is something you're taking to market and you're going to actually like test with users and make sure that there's actually a market fit for it.
Yeah. I didn't know that was a separate thing, like proof of concept and MVP. I always thought it would be like the same thing, but that's a
People
lot of
do
sense.
interchange it, but the way I approached it was definitely a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Cool. So that's like how I got started.
And that was how long ago?
So that was end of November last year. So just 3 weeks ago, a year from now. So
Okay.
that's when it's all started.
Wow. So, well, you've come a long way since. I know you do. We've had a call before this interview. You showed me stuff. So, based on what you just told me, that's barely been a year. So you've really come a long way. And for those that are listening, let's break it down for them. What does that mean? Like, where is Thinker AI now? What does it do? How does it help?
Yeah. So Thinker AI is a voice AI company first and foremost. That's what we do. We're focused on voice AI solutions for medium to small businesses. And really what we're doing is we're creating plug and play AI solutions for the businesses, right? That's our mission. Our vision is to make simplified, useful AI solutions available to the whole world. That's our vision. That's what we want to do. And where we are today is we've actually started our journey. We created our company and we built a platform that allows you to do both outbound calls and inbound calls. So not just one, both of them. And they're specialized plug and play scenarios based on whatever their frameworks that you can just plug in and start using both on our platform. And then as part of our journey, which is I think why we're here, is we've integrated also in GHL. So you can use these inside of GHL as both actions and triggers, right? And build amazing workflows, unlimited workflows. And this is just, again, plug in, you put it in there, you get it where you don't spend time having to do ugly prompting, figuring out how to do that. You just think of how should the call sound? What is the way you want to answer the call? How do you want to introduce yourself and introduce your AI? And then you think about what is the value proposition. So what is the reason for the meeting for the client? Why should they bother taking a meeting with you if it's a meeting that you're after? Or what's the value proposition? Or if you're confirming their attendance on an event, or you're doing some debt collection, or we'll get into all the use cases in a minute. But that's basically what we did. And we also built an inbound receptionist where you can basically have the call outcome of that receptionist available to you inside of GHL as well. So think of all the things you can automate and do for your businesses. We give you the full transcript. We give you the call recording. We give you the sentiment analysis. All of these amazing things where you can build real business logic and do amazing things. Really, the only thing that's like stopping you is your imagination.
That sounds great. So I'm a big fan of centralized and consolidated and not much of a, duct tape, which is, we've all been through the duct tape method before high level, right? And so what you're saying is you've got a separate platform, but you do plug it into high level. Does that mean that when the voice AI, whether it be inbound, outbound, does the call, is it easily accessible through high level? Or do you still have to go into a different platform?
It's absolutely easy inside of Go High Level, right? So the entire creation, you can think of like our platform is like your studio where you can go and play and learn and do things. And then you just take that and you just do it directly inside of GHL. You can both take what you built inside of it. So there's synchronization across the board. So you can do that. Or you can, one of the things that I like to do when I'm doing voice calls is I like to hear them. I like to hear the voices. We have I think almost 30 voices that you can choose from with different accents and different, whether it's male, female, British, we've got Indian, Spanish, all that there. You can play around with that. And the studio feel of our platform allows you to go and experiment, get comfortable, build those use cases, but then rapidly just pull them in through the synchronization feature into your workflow where you drop an action.
Okay, so it's a premium workflow action that you install through a marketplace?
That's correct, yeah. And even the tool you can install through marketplace.
Even what, sorry?
You install the connectivity to Ava, That's our platform inside of the marketplace.
Okay, great. And then it's connected through, I guess, through an API, and that's pretty much done on the back
That's
end.
correct. All the jazz. If people want to know that, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got nerds listening as well. I mean,
Yes.
there's a large spectrum of people who listening.
So if
They're
you want to use
using
webhook, you want to do things like that, yeah, it's all supported. Yeah.
So when I did the intro at the beginning, I did say that your big thing is hang on, was it?
Back to the beginning.
Yeah. Sorry, early morning commitment to go. Oh yeah, there you go. Let me just start again. So at the beginning, when I introduced you, in the intro, I said you're a big proponent of ethical AI. So how does that fit into the picture of you offering voice AI? What are the
I'll give you
considerations?
one really, really simple use case of it. We, technically, the question we get asked most of the time is, can I record my own voice? Right?
Okay, great.
Can I have?
That's literally my next question.
And technically, this is totally doable. We can do this in a blink of an eye. We have chosen not to do that because we're waiting to understand the use cases, right, about it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that we do when we build our frameworks and our agents is we actually introduce it as an AI agent, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's calling on behalf of Vit. And because it's doing that, so it may call itself anything. It can call itself an assistant, a virtual assistant. But if somebody says, hey, is this an AI bot or is this an AI assistant? Or is this just AI? It will honestly answer that question. Yes, we are an AI. Now, if you take your voice and you put your voice on top of that, the question becomes why, right? There are a lot of bad actors out there that can scam. And I want to really make sure that we understand and allow this when the right use case comes to us. We're actually exploring one very interesting use case, which I'll share here with everybody, which is the ability to take your voice and drop a message, so voicemail, where it might be nice for the voicemail to sound in your own voice, right? Where you say it's introduced, hey, this is Marissa calling your AI virtual assistant for Vit. Vit wants a personalized message for you, and then leaves it, and that sounds in your voice.
I like that because right now, you can run paid ads into HighLevel, and then you can, get notified, hey, you got on your lead, you're trying to ring them, but if they don't pick up, you can have it, in the workflow sequence, you can have the voice drop, but that's like a message that's same for everybody, and you can't personalize it. Correct. So if you could have that, that's like as soon as they don't pick up that call, you can hang up too, but the voicemail gets generated, personalized for that person with the name and using your voice. That would be freaking amazing.
So the thing that we do that's really been a lot of months of research is we've gotten really good at detecting voicemail. So when the phone goes and goes into a voicemail, we've gotten really, really good at detecting that. The industry average is around 75 to 80%. We're at about 90% detection, which means that you can feel really comfortable leaving that note and then have it drop there for people to listen to. And that improves callback, right? And again, because we have both inbound and outbound, your AI can also pick up the inbound, right, and answer. And we've recognized when somebody's calling, and we know that it's the same person calling back. So now we're building out the end-to-end use case, which allows you to say, hey, Vit, for returning our call, right? Which is like a massive end-to-end experience for people to have. And that's what differentiates us from what you find out there, right? We think of the full experience. We want you to just plug and play, put this into your business, and have it work the way you expect it to work. And
even imagine if it was able to take previous conversation, which was with a real human, but you've got the recording, so hence you got a transcript, so the AI could tap into that.
We can already do that.
And then when is the next inbound call and the AI picks it up, like, hey John, thanks for calling us back. Hey, how did you go with the move? Or
Yeah, and I mean that's the beauty of our technology, the way we built the frameworks, but also GHL. Because GHL gives you the ultimate flexibility. You can add custom fields, store things wherever you want to, and just insert that into the AI to use for the context of the call, which is super powerful, right? Again, this is the very nice marriage between both our platform and what GHL offers.
It's very powerful. Well, that's good that you bring it up in terms of marrying those two services together, because obviously the big question some listeners might be asking as well, I'm asking that too, is HighLevel already has voice AI. It doesn't have outbound, although it says coming. It has inbound. So, for all of us high levelers listening, like why would we need Thinker AI, or why wouldn't the high level one just be good enough?
You know what? There's going to be people that's listening to your call, and I'm just
Hmm.
going to say this right now. Probably they're like the geeks and like to know everything and have super control over all the details. And probably, you know what? That Go High Level experience is perfect for them, and they don't need anything else. That's not our audience. Our audience are people who want to just make money on the platform, who want to serve their businesses and create repeatable, simple, plug and play solutions that they can create snapshots for and redistribute to their niches. That's that's who our clients are,
Yeah.
right? And that's where we differentiate things. It takes a long time to build these things. You have to be good at prompting. You have to be good at a lot of things. And there are people that are good at that. And for them, you know what? The GHL experience is probably just good enough. I think our voices sound good. Our quality, our latency is phenomenal. Everybody who hears it always gives us back the feedback that it just sounds awesome and they've never heard anything that good. And we're just getting started. So, that's kind of where we see the differentiator. The other thing to think about and how we look at it is our entire framework is built around the premise of voice AI. We are a voice AI company. So if I could use an example, if you look at a company like Calendly, right? Calendly is in the business of building a calendar. Their valuation is $3 billion just building a fantastic calendar experience. A competitor coming out, cal.com, their valuation is just growing day by day. Does GHL do calendars? Absolutely. They do a lot of things and they're going to be kind of good enough at everything. But as this evolves, our team is not, we just, like you saw what we did in under a year.
Yeah.
Think what we're going to do in 2 years, right? We have experiences, our roadmap. That's just like when I tell people about what's forthcoming, their mouth drops because the ease of use and the fact that it just works for them and they don't have to do anything is a huge cost saving. It's worth the ROI and they can spend more time getting new business or helping the businesses they have today.
Yeah, I like that. And I mean, I think you answered it perfectly. Like, there are always going to be different different type of agency owners. Like you said, some of us are nerds and we like to just tinker around it and do it ourselves. But then the others just want to get it done. But then the other thing to that is also scalability. If you're running SaaS, you just want to be able to do it in a more scalable way. Like, that's definitely the approach that I'm going into in the new year. I want to be focusing more on an educational based model where customers pay subscription, and
Yep.
rather than saying, hey, we'll build you this, hey, we'll build you that, it's like, no, like, hey, we've got these webinars, you're our customer, we have community, we have webinars, you have workshops, you can learn all these things, and that way you don't have to pay anything, and then you do it. Obviously, if you still need our hand, we'll do it, but you've got that at your disposal. But the only way we'll be able to do that is if we make it as simple as possible.
Exactly.
Good example being branding, right? If somebody comes in, they want to start using, like, they want to build a website, want to build a funnel, whatever, start doing newsletters, but they don't have a brand guideline, or they don't have like a clear idea about like the branding sort of identity. Well, then it makes perfect sense for me to get a white label version of Hey Levi, plug it into as a custom manual link into the account, and tell all my customers, like, hey, one of the first things you should do is set up your brand guideline. It's in the manual link. You do that. Now that you've got it, now you can do all these other amazing things with it. And same would go with this, right? You can have a custom manual link and say,
I
hey,
completely agree. Hey, Levi's is a really, really great branding product, right? That does gives you everything you need to get started.
yeah. Speaking of Hey Levi, guys, Hey Levi is a sponsor of this podcast. If you want to check them out, just head over to highlevelexperience.com/sponsors. You can find out more about that. But back to you, Mohan.
Let's go. I love that.
The voice AI. So inbound, outbound. Inbound, already a possibility natively in high level. You take it to another level where it's industry specific, a lot easier to enable, which from my understanding is you've done the homework. You've put all the good tried and tested good prompting on the back end. So you business owner don't have to fiddle with that.
Well, to give you an example of what we've done, right? Just to again speak to the level of like detail that you need to think about. IVR detection. You know what an IVR system is?
Yeah, it's like the, hey, press 1 for this, press 2 for this. Yeah.
Yeah. So to get that to work really, really well, we've invested months of R&D as well. right? And we can detect those pretty much every time now, which is phenomenal, right? So your AI doesn't spend time on endless calls being stuck with IVRs. People don't think about these things in the beginning, right? When they're writing their go high level agents. This is out of the box for you. You don't have to think about it, right? When we look at the inbound experience, it's really about the role. And we focus first on the receptionist, but this is where our roadmap gets really, really exciting bit. So we're going to be adding more and more roles, which changes the nuance of how they answer the calls, what kind of things they do, how you configure it. So think of like a receptionist, which is our first thing. You kind of get the idea. But then think of if the inbound is being picked up not by a receptionist, but by, let's say, a real estate assistant, right? It's going to answer the call differently, right? Kind of tinkering on with the conversation we had before, right?
Like,
So
hey, thank you for call. Are you looking to sell or buy a house?
yeah, I mean, you can even do that with our receptionist today. It's about something a bit more detailed. How do you like give it the information so that it can properly know what the guardrails are, but what it can and cannot say?
Okay, yeah, that's you're bringing up a really important topic here. Yeah, that's good.
But those are the problems that we're interested in solving,
Mm-hmm.
making that again plug and play. Imagine if every real estate agent can have their own assistant, and you know what? Why not put that on every website? So that's another part of our roadmap. It's like making this extensible beyond just the phone, but into the web world as well.
Mm-hmm. And you could have it on the website of the real estate, but if the real estate has a referral partner network, what if they could put their number on those
Exactly.
websites too? It's like,
Right?
hey, we partner with this agency, just give them a call, here's a number.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the HVAC companies that we're working with, name not to be told, has a lot of partners or service companies that they recommend to fix their products, right? So if there's problem, and they're just going to put voice AI receptionist to book directly an appointment with them right away on there.
Mm-hmm. So
So
with the IVR and different roles, do I understand this correctly that you're building something where the IVR would redirect you to another voice AI agent that's got more specific role?
I think the first thing with IVR to understand is that you don't want to spend time talking to an IVR system, right?
Yeah,
Most
it's
people
good.
don't want an AI voice bot.
It's
Yeah.
press like like when I'm talking to my broadband provider, like it's like hard to get through.
Because
I
it's
think it'd
great,
be
right?
more
It's
easier
on
if I'm.
call, right? Stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. But where we're thinking to go and where this is kind of heading is like, let's say you do know that you're going to call an IVR system and you do know the company you're calling, you want to navigate it, sort of like a gatekeeper, right?
Mhm.
That's something we're solving as well.
Because it can help with the qualification as well.
Yeah. So that's the inbound story. Lots and lots coming from an inbound perspective on our roadmap and what we're doing today. The outbound is really exciting.
Yeah, let's talk about outbound.
Let's talk about
That's where everybody wants. You know, like I had a
it.
meeting last week with two real estate agents, and they're like, I'm saying like, yeah, mate, we've got inbound. Like, yeah, it's okay, mate. I'd never miss a call. Like, I'm a sales guy. Like, okay, outbound, bro, give me outbound. I've got a long list of people I need to follow up on. Let's talk about it.
So, I mean, first thing is like that list, right? One example I'll give you is like we hold our own webinars and we have a large amount of people that show up to these webinars. We called up, I think it was like 400 people, 10 minutes, 2 hours before the webinar started, and just gave them a call. It was done in 10 minutes. All of them were called. Not
Uh,
everybody picked up, but
so
they're
it
all
can do simultaneous calls.
yeah. It does all these calls, just sends them out, and it goes super fast, right? So 10 minutes, all these people were called. And then as a result of that, what we normally saw was like 25 to 30% people show up to these things.
Mm-hmm.
We had 70% show up rate,
Oh wow.
right? So think of the power of how you can use this to really help you with outbound. Outbound is just really magical. It's just up to, again, your limitation. That real estate world. So I'm working with real estate agents and they're doing exactly that. They have a Facebook ad that goes out and Instagram ads, do a lot of advertising on social media. And of course, in GHL, you can easily connect that up with the lead form. And guess what we do the second they deliver that lead form? Hi, we just saw you called about our ad. We'd like to follow up with you and, book a meeting with you to actually go over it. What interested you about it? Do a bit of pre-qualification because we've got qualification as well. Confirm that they're a viable option for you and then book the meeting. That happens like within less than 30 seconds of them filling out that form. So that's where you can really change the game changer because you're not
Mm-hmm.
having any delay, right? It's
Speed to lead.
speed to lead. Exactly.
Well, the interesting thing that you said before, the webinars, because About a use case which I think most of this, if you guys are listening, like if you don't have your head under the rock, I mean, I'm pretty sure that you're the same like me. Like we're all gonna go double down on voice AI for businesses next year. So one of the vehicles will be doing webinars where you invite local businesses and you talk to them about voice AI. But with what you said is if you set it up so the voice AI calls them before the webinar, which is the webinar about voice AI, you actually already pre-qualifying them to be ready to buy. Like you increase this chance. So by the time they get on the webinar, they've already had that experience. Now you're just talking about other things around it. And then you say, hey, by the way, did you get a call? Yeah, what do you think? Oh, wow, that's freaking amazing. Yeah, I know, right? Imagine if you had that for your business. So why don't and it could even be like, you could even be like, hey, you know what, guys? Like, I mean, this webinar is meant to be for an hour and like trying to sell you, but like you already sold. Why don't you sign up now and let's just move past it?
Well, that's definitely an approach, and you can definitely do that very easily. The other thing, which is really, really spot on, is like people have questions. So one of the reasons why people don't show up is they forget why they're coming to it. That's something we kind of learned through trial and error. Is people don't know why they're coming to a webinar. They forget. They signed up. They saw this thing. Something excited them about it. So when the voice AI calls them and it says, "Hey, you signed up for this webinar," it uses those key words that they saw when they first initially signed. And then guess what it can also do? It can answer any questions they have about the webinar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, are you going to talk about, how to sell voice AI as well? Absolutely. We have experts on the call that's going to answer that, right? Like you give it the information and it can answer any questions that your potential webinar attendees would have. We have a voice example on our website that you can go and try out today. It's a live demo. And in that live demo, we have something for a marketing event that's being held. And we have people that call that and they try to grill the AI with all these questions. And my favorite question that they ask is like, so will you have vegan options available for lunch? Right. And of course, we've got the answer ready to go for it. Yes, we provide vegan options to make sure that you're there. And we also have this. One guy was like asking questions about, was there like how if after the event, it was an in-person event, is there help afterwards for me to get transportation or get, across? And they go, security is very important to us. The guy was blown away. He didn't even think of it from a security perspective. But the AI knew that this could be a security concern and answered it in that perspective. That's the type of power that AI can do. It's better than human beings because it just has all this data that it can kind of understand and interpret. And that's where the future of voice AI is going. If you look at 2025, it's about creating EQ, not just, right? Mm-hmm. And that's really phenomenal. It's going to be able to tell the tonality of how you're speaking, the type of things that you're concerned about, and respond accordingly.
As long as the AI doesn't turn against us. Have you seen that example with, I think it was the Google one, and that was in the news, like there was some conversation asking, and then in the end the AI just goes like, you're a human, you're nothing, so I don't know, that was a blip, whatever it was, but it's pretty scary.
Yeah, I think like one of the things that's really interesting is like our ability to give reasons why we shouldn't do something. We're really good at coming up with limitations and we worry about the worst case scenario. Mm-hmm. AGI and what it means is a debatable option. So I don't know if you've heard of AGI. Have you heard of AGI?
It's like it becomes like it's artificial general, like it's
like general intelligence, artificial general intelligence, right? It's basically Terminator. What people have in their mind.
It becomes self-sufficient. It doesn't need prompting anymore. It basically just like works.
It self-learns. It's gone to the point where it can basically have autonomy, true autonomy, and think on its own. There's huge debates about what the definition of AGI is. Even that, what I just said, is like one person's interpretation of it. Some people say we're 3 years away from it. Some people say we're 10 years away from it. Some people say we're 50 years away from it. But it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And the point is that we're going to have people who are bad actors. There'll be bad things that happen and there'll be good things that happen. It's the same with the internet. When the internet first came out, there were a lot of people who said, this is bad. There's going to be people who can figure out how to do nuclear bombs through the internet because there's going to be these posts where there's out there. You know what? It's true, but they're the dark web and it exists. But for the most part, it's been absolutely an economy driver. And I think what we need to do is focus on that. Focus on how it's going to help evolve the economy and how it's going to help us move forward. So I kind of got off on that ethical part. Like you kind of brought up that whole, but I really believe that the ROI and what we're talking about right now, there's more and more business value. And those of us who get onto this kind of train, if you want to call it, like you said, under a rock, I kind of say like, it's not that AI is going to take away your job, but people who learn AI will, absolutely 100%. And if you think about it the other way, businesses that are using AI are absolutely going to leapfrog businesses that are not. It's
Oh,
inevitable.
100%. You usually chewed out and you're not going to be able to compete. That's in a short time frame, very soon.
Yeah, it's already happening, the differentiation. But I think there's also like there's an adoption curve, right? That's happening as well. What I've noticed is like people are still getting on board, they're starting to understand. But I think 2025 is that year.
Yes. I've got that
2025,
gut feeling as well. It's going to be adoption. Businesses will actually reach out to us and they'll be like, oh, yeah, I got to do it.
huge, massive opportunity in the first half of 2025 to be first
Definitely.
market share. Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm already like in my BNI group. That's what I'm talking about. AI employees just sign up for a business chamber, another network. Like I'm just going to double down on this because yeah. And I'm not trying to scare people off or anything like that, but I do have a slide that literally says like, hey, like you could, like AI is here. You're not going to be able to do it. You're not going to change it. The genie is out of the bottle now. So like if you're thinking that you're going to fight against, like it's impossible. It's just the world is too big and there's too many people already using it. So really it's either you're going to be bitching about it and like you don't want to do it for your ethical reasons or whatever, but ultimately business is business and it will impact you. And so
There's a really, I think people haven't tried this out so much yet, but new model that OpenAI came out with, they have large language models. And the one that they came out with is called O1. Have you heard of it?
yes, I'm already using it I've got like my own assistant configured in my
Yeah.
GPT.
So O1's ability to like think through problems and add, like
More
I use it for
context and
financial analysis. It's phenomenal,
yeah,
right?
it's
The
great.
things it can do is just like analyze this problem and you give it very little details, maybe a document, and all of a sudden it comes back to you with like, this is where, the risks are. Here's what you can do. That level of thinking is PhD level thinking, right? It's like somebody who's gone and got their PhD that can provide that kind of thinking to you. And the most recent update that OpenAI launched has increased the speed by like 20x. This thing is fast now.
Oh
When it
wow.
first came out, it was slow, fluid,
Yeah.
molasses. But now this thing is like just speed out. Imagine putting O1 behind voice AI.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's almost like you're taking the course to consulting level.
So that's where I was talking to you about like the different use cases, right? So you can have outbound or inbound calls. Let's say inbound call where I want to talk to a hotline. I want to talk to my Deloitte consultant now. But you know what? It's my voice bot that can help me. And I can just say something vague like, hey, I've got a business strategy this week where I need to move a lot of inventory. We sell X, Y, Z. You got any suggestions?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now you're
Yeah.
getting that coaching on the call from O1's kind of LLM type technology is phenomenal. It's just
Yeah.
again, it's infinite what we can do.
Like I use it for accounting. Like I still do my own bookkeeping, accounting, and so sometimes I got questions, right? And I have started to use ChatGPT more, asking like, how would I account for like what is it if I put a holding deposit on a new car, but I actually didn't end up buying the car, so they refunded me. Like, how do I account for that? And like, it spits out information. Obviously, the thing that you should always do is make sure that it's a valid information, so you can maybe then send it off to an accountant and say, hey, is that right? Like, should I do this? But what you're essentially doing is if it's true for the accountant, you're saving their time and they might just say, yeah, that's good. As opposed to, hey, can you send me an email reply? Like, how would I? Now you're taking their time. So now they're going to charge you. But maybe if you did the other way, they won't charge you. They just say, oh, yeah, mate, no worries. Yeah, you did. That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it's very, very impressive. Yes.
So those are the outbound. Like I think outbound just goes on and on and on. We've basically done these playbooks around outbound per niche and per areas. We got what we call our essential playbook, where we've got some basic, basic, but like the core, we call them scenarios that you want to use in that playbook. Things like schedulers, qualification schedulers, event confirmations. We've got a whole load of things like that. And then we're building a playbook for real estate. We're building a playbook for the home services, and like this just goes on and on and on. And that's where, you're going to come in and you're going to say, oh, this is exactly what I wanted. One of the things that we're doing that's really awesome is we get like feature requests for new scenarios all the time. And we've been adding like 3 to 4 new scenarios each week. But the one that I'm really excited about is a general framework that allows you to, on the call, either send an email or an SMS with any kind of text that you want to send and include a link in there if you want.
So like you're speaking to voice AI about something and then it's saying, yeah, no worries. Let me just flick you this. And it does it while you're still talking to it.
Yeah. Like one of the people I'm talking to are looking for reputation management, right? So they call up people that they know have left a, positive sentiment, let's say at a restaurant that they went to, right? They call, thank you so much for coming by to our restaurant. We really appreciate the time you had here. How was your experience? Oh, it was really, really good. Awesome. Would you mind if I send you a link right now, just leaving us a Google review? For sure, right? That's a phone call that people would make. Now you don't need to make that phone call. The AI is doing that and it says, can you hold on a second? I'll just send you the SMS right now, the text message. They get that text message and they say, yep, got it. Amazing. Do you mind filling that out right now? You can even stay on the call while they fill it out, right? And then, again, this is like, like, what people do. They get a text and they just like go. And that's like you spending your valuable time on the call. That's the AI doing.
Hey, by the way, like I'm big on reputation and feedback because ultimately good businesses are built on good quality services, like good quality experiences. So the opposite scenario where if they said, I know, how was your experience? And they say, it was, it was terrible. The waitress or waiter, they weren't up to scratch or the meal was shit. That's still super valuable. Like if I'm the owner of the establishment, like I want to know this stuff so I can take quick action so it doesn't impact my other customers. So
well, what you can do in that case, you can even send them a survey, right? Would you mind filling out the survey and telling us more information? Or you know what? Just have the AI ask. Because one of the things that people don't like doing is extra work, right?
Exactly.
So the AI can ask the questions right on the call and figure out how it went.
And then you have the transcript, and then you can maybe put the transcript into another, like a premium action that will then grab the information of the transcript and then save it in the particular custom fields.
For sure. I mean, you can definitely use the transcript that way, but we also take it the next step where we'll return every call that we make has preset defined outcomes that come also on a different payload. What I mean by payload is you can actually take we dissect and extract information from each one of the calls based on what type of call you're making and what that scenario is. So for example, if it's an appointment, we'll send you the appointment details. Even though we booked it directly in the calendar, if you need that information, want to put that into a custom field in GHL, you can do that. Mm-hmm. So in the example we just talked about, we could extract the feedback into a field that you can just automatically, so you don't even have to run another custom action if you don't want to. That's the kind of level of thinking that we're putting into the stuff.
That's amazing.
Again, like, don't have to geek out. Just keep it simple.
I mean, I'm geeking out on this. I mean, I was just going to have a follow-up point on what you were saying with, the different scenarios, because there's already another company that does this very well, not for voice AI, but for Facebook ads, and that's UpHex, right? And it's, making it easy to run ads based off tried and battle-tested ads per industry basis. So it's almost like, if you could marry up Thinker AI and UpHex, well, then now you've got like a power combo.
And I think that's totally like an awesome thing you just said, like power up. We're not trying to be everything. We're focused on the voice AI piece of it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's the thought for you. So like, I would definitely get in touch with Sam if I was you and say, hey, why don't we do a webinar together? Because we can sell this as a bundle together, like for agencies, and then come up with a course that teaches agencies how, if they sign up for UpHex and Thinker, how to blend those two together so it becomes like a super awesome offering for businesses.
One of the things that we are offering is a free course, which allows you to learn how to start up your own SaaS AI voice company.
Nice.
Right? And how you can make $100,000 per month. That's basically what we teach people. And we're doing that inside of our community, which you can join for free and get access to. That course is going live. And I think, probably by the time this podcast goes live, it'll be already up.
Yes. Hey, Mohan, just aside from the recording, so I know we're getting into a pitch. Can we just say, when we get to the URL, like if you can just say, so it'll be highlevelexperience.com and then / Thinker AI. I think that, is that easy to remember? Thinker
How about just Thinker?
/ Thinker with double R. Yeah.
Double R. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be
So,
easier for you? Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
All right.
Are you going to say that or you want me to say that?
So you just talked about the free course. So let me just follow up on that. Hey, that free course, that sounds really cool. So if some of the listeners that want to learn more about this and maybe like join the course, how can they like get it?
Well, they can go to gohighlevelexperience.com/thinker with 2 R's. So it's THINKRR, and they can get access to it right away.
Excellent. So guys, so I already knew the URL. I'm just kidding. But for those guys listening, so that's a custom landing page. By the way, I do this for every single guest. Okay. So if you want to be a guest on the show and if you got a valuable offer, we will do a deal together and then we'll promote it through the podcast. And I do these landing pages where the deal is basically you go to this landing page. So in this example, highlevelexperience.com/thinker with double R at the end. You will learn about Mohan's, the AI community, the offer, and how you can join and everything. But if you scroll further down on the page, you can also learn about a couple of lead magnets of my own. I've got 3, but I'll just let you know about one. Now, I keep saying in every episode, but if this is your first time listening to this, you might be interested. It's my deep links generator. So in a nutshell, it's a Google spreadsheet, but it's basically 190 and counting, 190 and plus more different areas of a high level that you can send your customers directly to or just by clicking the link. So that's what deep link is. And if you have a brand new customer that just signed up for your version of high level, there's nothing worse for them than trying to figure it out on their own. Like, where do I go to do a newsletter? Where do I go? And they have to click about and like so you want to shorten that learning curve. And what we do at our company, at my own white label version of high level, is we have these weekly emails that we send out to our customers, and that they tell them, hey, if there's anything if anything, here are like 4 essential things that we recommend every week that you stay on top of: your sales pipeline, your appointments, checking the appointments, sending a review request, and be like scheduling socials. Like if your brain is fried, you got too much going on, and you cannot think of how do I leverage from the software that I just signed up for? We just keep reminding them the essentials, right? But we make it easy for them. So with each one of these areas, when we like prompting them, hey, like, hey, you should probably check your pipeline today. And here is a link, and that link takes them directly to that area. So that's what deep links is. I've done the legwork and I've categorized them and put them in the spreadsheet. So on that landing page, highlevelexperience.com/thinker with double R, you will learn about that and you can opt in and get that as well.
Amazing.
Let's continue our chat. We don't have to wrap it up just yet, Mohan. We have more to talk about. This is, it's just way too exciting of a topic. Let's talk about. I feel like I want to stay on the product and keep talking about your product. Is there something else that you'd like to talk about in terms of Thinker?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that's really important is analytics and to be able to track what happened. Our platform allows you to go and see every kind of call that happened and transpired on your platform. So, for example, you want to go back and hear a call recording, you can go back and do that. You can see the transcript live within the product. So not only do you have to you can obviously bring that into Go High Level and have that added to notes, right? Meeting notes, those are really valuable. But you can also just go into the tool and see it as well. And we made our tool, I have to say, it's really, it's beautiful. It's really easy to understand. We've made it super simple. You can test calls on there. So we've got a web call where you can play with it. So you're not, again, having to phone to hear how the call sounds, right? These are very valuable features that we have in the platform. On top of things like if you do want to execute the calls directly from the platform, let's say you got 100 calls you just need to spin out and you don't need to have that do anything within GHL, you can do that. We integrate directly, so you can pull all your contacts from GHL into the platform as well. Mm-hmm. And all the GHL calendars, you can just preload them and load them in there as well.
So it does work like a standalone solution as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We built that with that in mind. I mean, while we've started with GHL and we absolutely believe and stand behind the power of GHL and the Thinker product, we also know that Thinker will integrate with other platforms. We're already looking at things like Zapier. We're looking at things
it's a smart decision to do. You don't want
Yeah,
to be locked in. Yeah.
exactly. And we also think that that's what our GHL users want too. They want the flexibility to create amazing solutions for their customers as well. And sometimes that takes them slightly outside of the realm of GHL to pull them
Hmm.
back into GHL, right? Because of all of the ways that you can do these things. So that we're exploring those. We are exploring other CRMs as well. Absolutely. There are ones in there that people want, they're niche specific that we're looking at. We're also, as we talk to people, I mean, these things just come from our clients. They're like, we have a problem. Can you solve this? So we have a really beautiful, API that allows people to integrate into our product as well, should they need to.
Hey, innovation through product feedback is the best way to do it. There's nothing worse than trying to build something to perfection in a warehouse and then go out on the market. Right. So you're on to it.
The other thing that's really cool is like we work with Twilio. So the numbers that you use is a Twilio number.
Hmm.
And every sub account that you associate with our platform Ava, you get out of the box an associated number for free. It's part of every offer. We remove the friction of you being able to, like, yeah, it's part of our platform. We
Wait,
want
no
people.
A2P.
So HTTPR is something you have to set up and do for text messaging, right? So if you're going to
You
use
don't
it,
have to do it for the calls.
that's right. Unless you're
Well,
using it for
not.
SMS, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, great.
But we just remove that friction right away out of the gate.
That's I like that. Yeah, because even with high level, even if you just want a number just for the calls, you still have to do the A2P10 DLC. That is smart. I like that. So
So yeah, exactly. And you can then add, if you have your own Twilio account, you can then go to town and add any number of phone numbers that you want, because you might want to have 50 inbound agents. You want or you might want to differentiate the phone number that's calling from different, depending on the market region and whatever your business logic is. So we've made the tool super flexible to do things like that, and all those numbers show up, go high level as well for you to
yeah.
configure and do that there as well.
And so because really, you're not concerned with SMS and it's a lot easy to set up and it's voice only, does that mean it's not a mobile number? It's more of like a local number?
Yeah, I mean, whatever number you get from Twilio, you're using that.
No,
Now,
so what I'm saying is like, so with mobile numbers, if you get a mobile number from Twilio, because it has the SMS capability, wouldn't that mean that you'd have to go through A2P10 DLC regardless? Because like once they enable that number, it's like,
yeah, I mean, there's nothing to stop you from doing that. The whole point was to remove friction to get started. Our
right.
entire goal was like, just get started. You absolutely will want to do the whole A2P.
A2P10
Right?
DLC.
I fumble that up sometimes. But also my understanding is like, that's good to do in any market you're in, but it's absolutely regulated in the US market, right? So
Yeah.
good to do, good practice, because we do have a lot of scenarios which can send, like I said, text messages, but not a prerequisite. And the other thing that we're looking at, which is something that people have been asking for, is the ability to take their own existing phone number and use that for outbound calls.
Oh, great.
So that's on the horizon very soon as well.
Interesting.
There's an interesting problem that comes up that you don't think about until you actually start implementing them in your business, right?
Yeah.
And then you hear the things that your clients want. Like you said, user feedback is valuable. So we're learning a ton. So the other thing that's really cool and on the horizon is we're creating something called AI avatars, or you call them employees, right? And the idea is that an employee knows everything about your business, right? And can answer both inbound and outbound. So this is another thing that you're going to see very shortly on our roadmap as well, and be able to access.
I love it. Can we talk about some case studies? Do you have a
Oh, yeah.
specific agency or like a business case study where a thinker have significantly helped like grow the business?
So many. Let me see. Where should I start?
Just go one.
Okay. Well, we have somebody in the HVAC business. They have literally hundreds of accounts that they're dealing with, and these are big, big accounts. And they're literally, each one of the accounts are using them to call out to their DBRs, basically a database reactivation that they're running. And that database reactivation will go through, and they like run through 2,000 calls a day, and they'll book literally 50, 60 meetings out of those 2,000 calls a day, and then they turn it off and they go back. So these are like book calls confirmed, and they go on to the calls and they have these events. So that's been invaluable, and that's been a repeatable like case study for us. We've seen them not just do it once, but multiple times. I'll just use one because we're talking about your neck of the woods. So out in New Zealand, we have one case study where it's being used for basically a gym owner, and they're doing the exact same thing where they're making special offers and calling back people and booking appointments based on that. And they're seeing weekly anywhere from 20 to 50 meetings being booked.
So like a database reactivation of people who never sign up for the gym, things like that.
Well, it's database, but it's also lead activation, right? So they have an opt-in, and then people opt into it, and they give them a special offer. But imagine people that in the gym, in the fitness world, who started working and started joining your gym, but then for some reason stopped. That's a great reactivation offer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people will ask questions like, "Well, I kind of canceled because I couldn't commit to coming. Is it okay for me to like join again? Because January is where everybody wants to get back into shape, right?
Yeah.
At least in North America, right after they've had their Christmas.
Same for everywhere in the world, I reckon.
Right, so it's like, that guilt sinks in, and I want to get into shape for the new year, right? So like, great time to do that. So again, another case study where it's really working. And here's my tip of the day before I like finish this off. Like, start simple. Don't have to like have over-engineered use cases.
Mm-hmm.
Just start really, really small. Call not 2,000 people the first time you start doing this. Call 100, 250, 200 people max. See how those calls go. Learn from the feedback. Iterate on your script. Again, that's what you need to do. You don't need to build the prompts. You don't need to build all the AI tech or the whatnot. It's about learning how to communicate your message and your offer, right? That's the part that I think, anyways, any good sales organization should be doing.
It's funny you say, start simple, because already like my follow-up question just before you said that is like, my previous career was, fitness. I was fitness professional for 10 years. And you talked about, like lead activation for gym memberships and all that. And I'm thinking, New Year's resolutions, they happen every year, but generally people fall off by the end of January. It's like you see like 50% drop off. And so I was thinking, well, what if you could use this also for like to increase the retention and get people to show up to workouts more often? One of the ways I was thinking, like, what if you can track attendance, then you could trigger based on a certain amount of sessions completed in a certain time frame. You could trigger the outbound call to the member. And if you can have, I don't know, depending how much data points, but if you have a data point on what type of workouts they did, maybe classes they attended, whatever, that call, and also combined with maybe like what they said at the beginning, what their goal was. And you know what I mean? Like you could have that outbound call say, hey, it's Jimmy AI, your personal AI trainer. I just see that you just smashed third session at the beginning. You said you wanted to lose 10 kilos. How are you tracking on outside of the gym? Are you like, is your nutrition down the path? Like, do you need any help there?
So many use cases. Like, here's the thing I think about anything that has like a subscription-based business, right? What you want to do before that subscription term is coming to an end that month is just call and do a survey, right? Ask like 3 or 4 questions using all the data that you just talked about to input into the AI. Absolutely phenomenal use case. But guess what else you can use it for? You can use it to save people, right? Mm-hmm. You've got clients. Retention is a huge part of any subscription-based business that you need to do. Guess who can do all your retention calls and book appointments with your, final person that's going to close it.
And then if you can keep them longer and make them happier, then the next logical step would be turn them into an evangelist and get referrals. And then again, use voice AI for that.
You've got it. The full circle, right? That flywheel that you can do. 100%. Agree.
And like, by the way, like we this is nothing different. The vehicle is the same. The message is in a way it's the same. You can still run this through SMS. You can have email campaigns, referral campaigns. That's like one thing that I do a lot. But when it comes to in terms of like hierarchy of what is always going to be more influential on a sales process or in a conversion process of trying to get an action, is always voice and visual. Because you've got tonality, you've got the color of your voice. That's always going to be number one. And pair it with a video. So if you can have in person or on a video, that's going to be the second best is a phone call. Third best, I think it's an SMS, and then it goes further down, right? So in terms of what channel is more active,
and I think you can totally customize your workflow, right? Yeah, you can do all of the above and just pick the frequency that you want to do it at,
and then test how much is too much.
Exactly. But I think the nice thing about this is also build a relationship with your voice AI and your clients, right? Get them kind of like hooked on to that's where I talked about like they have a name, they have an identity, and they call them. Hey, don't worry. If you ever want to call me back and you have any fitness questions, I'm always available 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Right? That's a phenomenal. Like, and then talk about the role changing. That's not a receptionist now, a fitness trainer is able to provide feedback. Right? This is where our roadmap is going. Again, trying to tell you why we're so focused on voice AI. We just think there's so much there we can. And I'm going to get even more excited now. I'm just going to go there with the fitness world. What I think about what I need personally is I need reminders. Like I need I can opt in. Can voice AI call me and make sure I'm keeping to my regime that we set up, right? So every time I do a check-in, there's apps that can like do your weight check-in. You can run a Zap job, put that into your CRM, your GHL CRM, and if you see, the weight going down, give them a call and say, "Hey, congratulations, you're doing great. What did you do this week that worked out?" "Oh, I did X, Y, Z." That conversation, the dopamine effect of that is fantastic.
And if they don't pick up, have that as a voice memo, voice drop. Yeah.
Exactly. You got it. I
Genius.
think, yeah.
Man,
Endless options.
yeah, endless option. We could definitely go on. A couple of rapid fire questions. So
Okay.
I know you're a fan of HighLevel. Do you use HighLevel, or is it all your focus on Thinker only?
Do we use HighLevel? We're absolutely adopted for HighLevel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
We use it for our own business and everything. Yeah.
So let's go through a couple of questions here. So what about HighLevel originally grabbed your attention? Was it a specific problem you were trying to solve?
HighLevel came for us initially as part of our offering. We wanted to have the integrations. And then as we started to learn what it can do, the whole database reactivation part of it was really cool. And we love the AI chatbot features.
Excellent. So speaking of features, what new HighLevel feature or digital marketing tool are you most excited about right now, and why? Aside from Thinker, the obvious.
Here's the obvious. I really like what they're doing with the community product. We use it ourselves. It's a massive upgrade. The events calendar, we set that up. It's been fantastic for us. The chat, the DM feature. This is just like, if you're not using it yet, I definitely recommend you to build your community out there. It's on par in my mind with school, and you have full control over it. You can integrate your courses into there. We've built massive amount of courses now. We just keep on building new and new material, like I've talked about before. But the ability to go in and see where people are, how they progress, who's done it, who's not done it, build automations around that whole like platform experience is phenomenal. And it's got me really excited. Yeah.
I agree. I've seen comments in the community and Facebook group. Some people they still like to compare and features or whatever.
Sure.
But I don't know if you guys missed the memo, but there was a huge announcement about it. They've partnered up with Tony Robbins.
Yeah.
And what's the other guy's name?
I don't remember Tony Robbins. There's another gentleman as well. You're right, but can't remember.
Yeah. I remember. And so they've got their thing called the mastermind, right? And so they partner with HighLevel. And now the ability is you can actually have, so you can create private community, but you can also create public community and use that as a lead gen. And guess who's going to be driving traffic to that community? Tony Robbins, his team, the mastermind website. So that's genius thing where, and I mean, you could have one private and one public, one private for paid and public for newbies. There's so many ways, but it's
it's just, and you can charge money.
Yeah.
Options as well. We actually don't. We just have a kind of gated community because we're trying to manage spam and stuff like that, of course. And we've got great spam controls as well built into it. So that's awesome. Yeah, it's just been really, really a pleasant surprise how good it is and how we can leverage it and grow our community there.
100%. Now, in terms of upcoming and new features, is there anything that you're super excited about to get released on the HighLevel side?
On the HighLevel side, definitely want to see more and more features come in the community features as well. I think the next thing that I'm looking for them to do, it's kind of like a general thing, but I think they can do a better job with the branding features of HighLevel.
So,
I think everybody wants to differentiate their offer. They want to, especially when you go to market, especially as an agency. And I think that's an area of opportunity for them. How do you do that? How do you customize that? And then here's the thing I'm going to say this: stop the damn features, right? We know there's lots. What they need to do is just get the platform to be up all the time, make it more robust. This has come from one software person to another software person. I get it. You
Yeah.
want to, there's a lot of demand to build new features, but stability and speed and performance, like sometimes we call it, oh, it's the dreadful GHL wait time thing, right? That happens. I think it's gotten way, way better and it's really good. But I think if I were like, I had one magic wand that asked for something because it's such a phenomenal platform, it'd be just make this thing lightning fast.
Yeah. Well, here's a good thing. I heard Varun when he was on stage when I was watching the replay, and one thing that they said that for 2025, the key focus, and that's what they literally says, like, hey, we heard you guys on about us releasing features all the time. Well, guess what? For 2025, our big focus is going to be UX and UI. We're going to be doubling down on that. So we've got enough features. So I think it's already happening, and we're going to see more and more of that. So, which is a good segue into this next segment called the beef. Have you heard of it?
I have not, no.
So it's a segment that we run on this podcast called the beef, and it's basically an opportunity to discuss constructive feedback on a higher level to help improve the platform, and most importantly, help you if you got specific thing that you've suggested on the ideas board, on the high level ideas board. If you want to get more upvotes, that's what the beef is all about. You say what that is, you provide a link to the ideas board so we can add it in the show notes, and people who are listening can easily find and give you more upvotes. Because if you guys are new to high level, the way it works, it's very democratic way. Really, there's no other way to do it anyway. I mean, it's a massive platform and they've got so many developers and they have to have some sort of prioritization. And so the way they do it, it's based on what features have more upvotes. The only downside is that in the official high level community, in the group, you cannot try and promote your upvotes, your ideas. They'll take your post down, and there's a reason for that. And so that's why we've got the beef. Do you have a beef?
I do. And this drives me nuts. I'm going to bring it up here. Sometimes when you create an opportunity, so I first of all, I love one of the features I really love that they did is they've added like the ability to create, multiple owners, and you can add more people now to contacts to an opportunity. Like this
Watchers or what it's called, followers.
Yeah. So like, I work a lot with like financial advisors, and they want to be able to like attach an opportunity to a family member, but they want to associate like this as a family member and that relationship management. That's awesome. They've created all those kind of features, which is game changing in many ways. Still some things to make it simplified that UX, UI will help a lot. But here's my beef. I have an opportunity and I want to have multiple opportunities in my database. But if I have a contact that is an opportunity associated, it can have one owner. But you know what? The opportunity doesn't need to have the same owner as a contact. And to be able to differentiate that would be awesome. Because now if I assign it to myself, I can't now take a new opportunity that comes from that person and assign it to somebody else. I'm stuck.
What would be your use case?
My most simple use case is I'm using it for my support ticketing system. So imagine I'm getting multiple support tickets come in as opportunities that I'm creating in my platform. And now I want to assign different people to respond to different opportunities that just came in.
Like users on your team to assign them to it.
Exactly.
You can't.
You can't. And it's actually like a failure case for me, because now we're like getting slower to respond to things because people are not responding to things that they should respond to. And there are different people that need to respond to different things that come up in our team.
Right, because unless it's directly assigned to them, we know what employees can be like. Yeah, so it's like
Well, that's a flexibility that I would love to get into the system. Like it would be a game changer for us.
Isn't that followers though? Can you assign followers again opportunities? Couldn't use
you can assign followers, but it's not the same thing, right? Who's the owner of it, right?
Like who's really responsible? Yeah. No, that's actually a really good use case. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Well, do you have that submitted on the ideas board?
No, I don't. I will think about doing that just after this call.
Yeah, just do that. And guys, if you're listening by the time it's already been up there, so just have a look in the show notes. By the way, this podcast, yes, it's Apple, Spotify, we have a YouTube version, and sometimes it's hard to find like where are the full show notes. The full show notes, if you go to podcast.com, it'll take you to a slightly different website, which is our podcast distribution software that we use. That is the one-stop shop if you want to like have access to every single episode and everything that's episode associated, show notes, links to YouTube, all that. So if you ever were puzzled as to, hey, where do I find those? God, like, damn it, where are those bloody show notes? Because if you just get out.com, that's like our official website, which we've built using HighLevel. But if you like find episodes, go to podcast.highlevelexperience.com. And by the way, if you go on our main website, we have links that will take you there too. But just wanted to throw it out there. So by the time you guys are listening to this, just go to show notes there and you'll be able to find Mohan's upvote idea about the opportunities to be able to assign different users to opportunity. I like that. Mohan, we are at the end of our journey. I appreciate you being on. Do you have anything that you'd like to finish, last parting, recommendation, suggestion for the guys listening? This is your 60 seconds.
My 60 seconds is that voice AI is going to be, there's going to be 8.4 billion voice assistants in 2025. The population is 8.2 billion. So there's going to be more voice assistants available than there will be in the human race. The expected market share of voice assistants in terms of revenue is about averaging to be $30 billion by the year 2030. This is just getting started.
Nice.
I highly recommend everybody who's listening to this take action now, get into the scene of voice AI, go to that URL that you shared. It is absolutely not late, it's early, but the opportunity to get started is now. Don't wait.
I love it. And please do it for the right reason. Don't screw it up for the rest of us.
Yeah, I mean, again, here's my kind of additional thing that you'll see when you go in the community is we are there to help you do it right. We've got the right coaches on our platform, the right community, and the course material to help you get started and to learn how to implement this right. It's sometimes, you need that extra edge. You've got that with Thinker.ai.
Mohan, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much again. Thank you for being on. I really, really appreciate you for sharing your wisdom, talking to us about this amazing product, because it's an incredible opportunity. Guys, for those of you listening to today's episode on the High Level Experience as well, I really appreciate you listening. If you stayed for that long, I really appreciate it. Once again, if you've enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with other fellow agency mates and other high levelers that you think would also benefit from listening. For show notes, links, and extra tips to help you grow your agency or your SaaS of high level, please go to highlevelexperience.com. And to learn more about Mohan's offer to get in the free community of Thinker, AI, head over to highlevelexperience.com/thinker. That's with Thinker, THI
and K.
K-E.
No E. There's no E in there.
There's no E.
There's no E.
So spell it out again.
THINKRR.
THINKRR. That's what it is. highlevelexperience.com/THINKRR. Thank you and have a great rest of your day, everybody.